Okay, so I'm going to just hand over to our very first contestant. I just want to, do you need the slides? Are you going to just look there? Okay, there we go. There's your slides. All right, so I'm going to welcome Afikile. Afikile, she is from Peacock Water Systems, and she's going to tell you all about her business. Afikile, are you ready?
Yes, yes.
Great, fantastic. You can take your time. Just wait 1 minute for me to stop.
Okay. Imagine a world where each household was able to save half the water they receive. Good morning. I am Afiki Lengunga with a master's degree in geography and a business management experience through Life and also working with my uncle in his local shop. So the problem that I've identified for many years in Bongweni location in East London is that households do not have enough access to clean water. So today I am here to introduce my amazing product, which is called a Peacock water system. This system consists of a Jojo tank, which includes a filter, as well as energy efficient pump and connection of pipes. Okay, coming to our customers, my first customer, which is going to be Mr. Sterman, who is my typical customer, who lives in Bongweni location and is using a lot of water for his family and him and paying a lot of money. So that takes me to the target market. My target market will be 2,000 households that are located in Bongweni location. And I'm also planning to take my project to the neighboring communities such as Chalumna as well as Amalinda. But my initial target will be 100 households who will be taking this project. This project is innovative because it will be helping a lot of people in Bongweni location to solve the water shortage problem. You might be wondering if there are any other companies that are offering the same product. Yes, there are competitors. For example, I have identified 3 competitors: Waterfirst, Aquarista, as well as Green Overall. But all these are located 60 kilometers away from East London, where I'm located. Therefore, that gives me an advantage. As well as my other advantage is that I offer a good quality water Peacock system, which is also high priced. And also it is water efficient and energy efficient. So now let's talk about our marketing and sales. I'm planning to sell my product, market it using social media, customer referrals, as well as local radios. And also we'll be doing sales where we'll be going door to door, selling the product. And in future, I plan to get a salesperson. So where we currently are now, okay, I wanted to show it, but it's not showing. But we are currently in the stage where we are registering our company, since we're still in the idea stage, so we are still registering, but we plan after 2 years to break even. That it will be 2014 or 2024 or 2025. Yes. So, okay. Now let's talk about numbers. In terms of numbers, I'm planning to sell in a month 10 units of water tanks, which will be at a cost of plus or minus 15,000, and each tank costs about, when we buy it, 9,000. Then that will give us in a month 60,000 profit, and then after a year, that means we'll be getting 25,000 as profit without before tax, as well as paying my salary. Okay, in terms of capacity, we are planning to get an artisan, a person who's going to install, as well as get a bar key, get a space to open our office. in order to overcome those capacity constraints, I'm planning to use my home available space, which is located also in Bongweni, and also to hire bakkies around East London, other than buying myself a bakkie, as well as I plan to get a container office. So currently I have a basic business plan, and my action plan is to take my business into other communities around East London, as well as to the local businesses around East London. So today, what I am looking for is a support, a mentorship that will help me reach my goal in helping people in Bongweni to save water as well as save money. Thank you.
Thank you, Afakile. That was a wonderful pitch. Just want to make sure that mic is on. Yes, and now you did very well on time. You actually had a little time extra. I'm going to hand over to the dragons, the adjudicators. You are welcome to start with questions, and then you can just respond.
Well, since I have the mic, can I start?
Okay.
Good presentation, thank you. I've got two questions. You can answer one if it's in the interest of time. So what exactly are you selling? It's a tank. That's the first question, right? So Mr. Steelman is your first customer. What is he buying? So that's linked to that particular question, right? So what are you selling? What is Mr. Steelman buying? So that's one question. The second question is the Bongweni people that you want to sell to, what kind of income bracket do they belong? And are they, how sure are you they're going to be buying this product as opposed to the current systems that they're using?
Can I respond first? Okay. Firstly, the system is a peacock system. I call it a peacock water system because I will be using a tank with a filter which will be collecting grey water from the household, and that grey water will be filtered in the tank and then transported back to the household for use for flushing as well as irrigation and other purposes. Also, okay, the second question was, the income, for example, in Bongweni location, people that are there are people who are nurses, people who are working for the government. That means they, for example, I would say they range for LSM about 8 to 10. So they'll be able to pay this amount of my tank. And I see the need because currently there's not enough water, and they're paying a lot of water because they use clean water for doing activities like irrigation. They will be using their tap to irrigate. They'll be using their taps to wash their cars. So introducing my grey water reuse, that will help them minimize the pressure on the available clean water that they use.
Okay, thank you very much for that lovely presentation. My question is actually around, I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of a potential client, a person who's likely going to support your business. What is it that is going to make them or drive them to want to support you? Why would they want to buy this particular product? And then my second question will be just this one. Have you been able to interface, talk to potential customers just to see basically if the price point that you put is what they are willing to actually pay for?
Oh, okay. Let me just first respond to the second one. Okay, I have done, because it's my community in Bongweni, so I have talked to a number of people, and then they're willing to pay. For example, I'll be giving even time for a person to pay deposit, and then when we install the tank, then they will pay the full amount. So they're willing to pay because they see the problem, and they are the people that are facing the problem. So they're willing to take something that is going to help them to improve in using water as well as have access to water all the time. So the first question, can you please repeat the first question?
So as a for users, what is it that is going to drive them to want to use this, like that thing, just to give you an example, I might actually have a headache. If, for instance, you give me, say, a vitamin for headache, that doesn't solve my issue. But if you give me Panado, it is going to solve my issue. So I want to understand, what is it that is going to drive the people to want to support you?
Okay. Firstly, is the problem they're currently facing. This is they will want to buy it. Actually, I would say they are willing to buy it because now they have this problem and they want it solved. So coming with this system, it will be a help to them. And being the person coming from Bongweni location, so they are willing to take someone who is their product to bring change in the community.
Thank you, Fikile, and thank you for presenting so well this morning. So you've made the case for water very clear, and I think the points that Rest and Lucky have made is that you have to make clear now how they will become your customers and how you're going to keep them. So a few things that I'm picking up that maybe you can improve with your pitch and your business plan is on your financials. So 60,000 revenue. You then went on to speak about operations, overheads, installation, services. All of that does not equate to 9,000 Rand for a tank. There's much more than that. So maybe you need to relook your financials and also look at what are the fixed costs for the customers and what will be the variable costs for the customers. So those things are going to impact on how who becomes your customer, and then a review of whether those 100 households are going to place orders with you. But well done on a good start.
Thank you.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope that the adjudicators had sufficient time to add up their scores. And I'd like to welcome Kavisha Naidu now from Distilled Delights. Welcome.
Thank you. Okay. Can you imagine a world where taking supplements is as easy as drinking water? Hello, Dragons. My name is Kavisha Naidu, and I am the founder and CEO of Distilled Delights. The problem we're facing currently is that there are no supplements specifically calibrated to the needs of the elderly. In addition to this, the elderly often forget to take their supplements on time and have difficulty swallowing large pills. Therefore, I'd like to introduce to you our innovative product. We are launching an alternative to supplements, providing nutrient-filled water with a specific mix of nutrients and minerals, specifically calibrated to the needs of the elderly. What makes our product innovative is that no other company in South Africa offers it. Our packaging will be 100% recyclable, supplied from Petco. Currently, I am the sole employee of Distilled Delights. I'm a BSc Honours graduate from Wits University with 3 years experience running my own small business. As the company grows, I will take on the role of the sales manager. I currently have a mentor at Wits University who is a lecturer, and she has experience running her own business. We have also developed entrepreneur skills with the Youth Bridge Trust. As the company expands, we're looking to recruit service technicians, lab technicians, and accounting specialists. We will also bring in a top nutritionist as an advisor. We have two market segments, that is the old age homes and the frail care facilities in Johannesburg. There are more than 60 facilities in Johannesburg alone, housing approximately 15,000 residents. If we sold a litre to each customer per day, we could potentially sell 450,000 units per month. Our competitors includes the companies which supply supplements like Dischem, Biogen, and Centrum. Our product is better because it's specifically calibrated to the needs of the elderly. It is also hard to forget and easy to swallow. It also offers supplements throughout the day rather than as a large single dose. At a cost of 15 Rand per unit, we expect a profit margin of 45%. We will break even after selling approximately 7,000 units. We anticipate breaking even by December 2023 and reaching a 50% target market by the end of 2024. We are looking for your help to find mentors and advisors. We are also looking for seed funding of 100,000, which would be used to purchase the deionizer equipment as well as recyclable packaging and nutrients and supplements. Thank you.
Thank you. Did so well on time. So there's going to be a little bit of extra time for the adjudicators. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kavisha. Well done. You mentioned the cost per unit as 15 Rand, is that correct?
Yes.
Is that for a litre?
Yes.
Okay. And then you mentioned your target market being the old age homes and the frail care. What sort of engagements have you had with these target markets to see if there would be an appetite for such a product by the people living there?
So I've spoken to nutritionists from the old age facilities, and they have mentioned that they will be willing to buy the product.
Thanks. I see on your solution, you've basically, you want to start all the way from purified water.
Yes.
I'm assuming that's not part of your business model, that you're going to take the water from some source.
Yes.
Because otherwise the numbers won't make sense in terms of that. But in terms of specifics, are you looking to get tap water or basically work with a company that is recycling water? Have you thought through how that component of your business solution will work going forward?
So we're initially going to be using tap water, which would make it cheaper to begin with. And later on, we will explore using these purifying equipment to purify the grey water, for example.
Thanks, Kavisha, on that brilliant presentation. I think my question is just I wanted to find out what informs the 450,000 units per month. Is that 450,000 liters of water? And in terms of your target market, how would that work out? I mean, how far have you gone to identify your target market in terms of these frail care facilities that you want to supply to? Thanks.
So the 450,000 liters units is in liters, and the target market is the old age facilities and the old age homes and the frail care facilities. And I have spoken to a couple of them. Out of this, I think there were two that said that they would be willing to buy the product.
Okay, sorry, just maybe a follow-up. So the 450,000 is based on two facilities?
Oh, so there are, yes, so we have the two market segments, which is our old age homes in Johannesburg, as well as the frail care facilities. And in total, we have 60 in Johannesburg alone. And the residents, we have about 300 residents in each of those 60. So it's about 18,000 residents.
Thank you so much. I think this is a fantastic market from a health and water perspective. And so some of your competitors are also international. So you have an Australian company called Nutrient Water who's doing exactly this. So they could be a business model for importing as well. And especially the questions that Val has asked you on your water source. If you are looking at nutrients, if you're looking at improving health through water products, it's important then the quality across the board in terms of what goes into your product itself. So yeah, so have a look at all your international partners as well.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that lovely presentation. My question is just around buy-in, because buy-in is always very critical, and vitamins that people require might be different, and so forth. So I just want to just understand from a standard and compliance point of view, what have you done to ensure that the potential customers will be able to buy with confidence and knowing that whatever is in there is exactly what's in there?
So the old age of people above 50 lack specific nutrients, and their bodies cannot absorb certain nutrients. So like, for example, vitamin B is needed in the elderly. So those nutrients it's going to be calibrated to the elderly. So each of the people who are old would basically benefit from those nutrients. And there's going to be specific quantities of each of the nutrients in the water, which is going to make it safe.
Okay, so I wanna just check quickly as a follow-up. So this also be like a standardized sort of product that has specific say basic requirements that the elderlies actually have, and that will be standard, or will it be like a bespoke product where you basically look into what are the core requirements of this particular center or the people in this particular say old age home, and then do you customize your product to their needs, or is it just a standard product that the elderlies can actually just use?
So it is customizable according to what the nutritionist would ask for in a specific facility. It's customizable.
Okay, I think that would be very interesting. Thank you so much.
Well done. That's good. I think I don't have a question. The only comment, I think the purification element, I don't see the necessity of it. I'm not too sure, but maybe when I partner with someone, I think that point was made. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's unfortunately all the time that we had. I just wanted to make sure that for the first two contestants, unfortunately the clicker's battery was flat. So they had beautiful slides, and there was also a distance challenge, so they couldn't control their own slides. So please keep that in mind. She had really lovely slides. Sorry for that. It's just a technical challenge. But thank you very much. You did so well. Thank you. Okay, I hope that you had enough time for the scoring. And I'm going to ask Kogatso Sekobela from Metse Treatment and Purification Systems just to get ready. I'll let you know when the clock starts. All right, all of the best.
Yes.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Morning, dragons. Imagine people living in mining areas such as Rustenburg, Brits, Witbank, enjoying clean, drinkable, potable water without posing any health. My name is Contestant, the founder of ManziPrenuers Treatment and Purification Systems. Pure water made simple. When you want it, how you want it. Heavy operations and wastewater treatment contains heavy metal and pathogens. Residents drink contaminated tap water and suffer diarrheal infections. Our innovative solution. Okay.
Sorry for that, and then we'll start again because we want your slides up. Sorry guys, load shedding. Just give us a minute or two. We are back in business online, and there's luckily a generator. So I'm going to start again. I'm going to introduce Kuhatso Sekubelo from ManziPrenuers Treatment and Purification Systems. And I'll start the clock soon. Just give me 1 second. All right.
Good morning, dragons and ladies and gentlemen. Imagine people living in mining areas such as Rustenburg, Brits, and Witbank, enjoying clean, drinkable tap water without posing any health risks. Sustainable Development Goal 6 promotes clean, drinkable, healthy water as a human right. My name is Kotatos Kobela, the founder of ManziPrenuers Treatment and Purification Systems. Pure water made simple. When you want it, how you want it. Mining operations and wastewater discharge causes contamination and containing heavy metal and pathogens. Residents drink contaminated water and suffer diarrheal infections. Our innovative solution is to sell, install, and maintain home water purification products such as reverse osmosis, which removes bacteria, virus, metal, and chemicals, and store clean water in its own tank. The system can produce 185 liters of water per day, which has an 8-liter of storage tank on it. My team consists of, I'm the technician, I'm a water expert with 10 years experience in the SA Navy. And also I've worked on board ships, commissioning desalination plants and potable water systems. And also I have a plumber that helps me with pipe work, and also a graphic designer that helps me with posters and flyers for advertising. And I look forward to hire a team of sales and marketing. Where we are right now, we have registered our company in 2017, and then we have started operating in November, and we received a positive customer response. 2018 and 2019, we were able to be contracted by Public Works to work on a water purification plant in a hospital in Northwest, and also a community offices for tribal houses. And during COVID and post-COVID, we were still surviving, and we could able to install 30 units for the past 6 months. Our customers are middle class and are also residents from Rustenburg, mostly. And then are also residents that are tired of buying bottled water in bulks. And also formal dwellings, which constitute 68% of residents. And our customer services includes 6 months installation, 12 months guarantee, which with every 6 months water test, pH test, and TDS test. On our market, water purification is in South Africa still in a beginning stage, and expected to grow by 15% gross annual revenue in the coming years. And our market is concentrated mostly in Rustenburg, which we have 250,000 households alone, and our target is normally middle class in towns and cities of Rustenburg. This is our market, which our formal dwellings of 68,000, which means 20% of that to 30% might be middle class. That's when we're working on that target. Our competition is water shops in towns that sells the residents bulk water. And also we have small key players such as Osmotech that also specializes in water purification installation of home water purification systems. But they are located in RTBS because of we operate in Rustenburg, they operate in RTBS. That means my market in Rustenburg, it's more. I would say I don't have a competition in terms of the technicians, in terms of installation. Our figures, we buy our system for 1,300 and from our supplier in Midrand, and we sell it for 3,500 with including installation and maintenance and 12 months maintenance. And we're able to sell 20 units per month, which is our revenue is 70,000. Our cost of sales will be 26,000. Gross profit is 44,000. And our monthly expenses is 18,000. Our net profit before tax is 26,000. That means ManziPrenuers is able to break even in the first 12 months of operation. With regards to scaling up the business, Rustenburg is a fast-growing urban area. And also, we would like to do 40 installation per month. That means we will have to do 2 installations every day. And the system takes roughly 2 to 3 hours to install. We would like to...
I'm going to have to cut you there. Your time is up. So sorry. I'm sure that the judges will be asking you the rest of the questions, but we had 5 minutes. Sorry for that. So over to them for questions.
Thank you. Very interesting. So, one quick question. You've been operating since 2017, right?
Yes.
And you joined the YBT program when?
Last year, December.
Last year. And you've been operating already?
Yes.
So what's different between what you were doing before and what you want to do now?
What I'm doing right now, I needed clarity in terms of business development because of when I started the business with the technical experience without the business knowledge. So I needed the business knowledge from the YBT.
Okay, super. No, thank you very much for that presentation. I think very exciting initiative. So I want to just understand how you arrived at your pricing for this particular product. I will tell you just shortly after why I'm asking that particular question, but maybe just tell me a little bit about how you arrived at the pricing.
Oh yes, I realized that as soon as I finished installing, I realized that on that pricing, instead of selling it for less, let's say for example I'll sell it for 2,500 rand. That means I won't install, I won't service. That means I'll cut other services. But whenever I put 3,500, I'll make sure that in the next coming 6 months he's got filters, he's got a water test report, and that means it's covered on the pricing.
Yeah. So just a bit of advice from my end, because I'm worried about that. Your pricing, especially given that you're saying you're targeting the middle class. Your pricing is a little bit, I don't know, like it's going to put you, you're going to experience serious challenges as a result of that pricing. Okay. I would suggest a totally different business model altogether, where you look at perhaps a subscription model of sorts, yes. Where clients basically pay you a small amount, but you install, but you still retain basically ownership of the hardware. And basically, as they continue to to pay you, you're going to make more money basically with a subscription model than an outright payment system. So because I saw that as we were talking about it, that it sounds like a great idea. However, you are given too much too early.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Letelu. I wanted to answer you on that one. I also came up with a business model of monthly subscription, which means every month, if they pay, let's say 150, instead of buying the system, the unit cash, they pay 700 of installation and they pay 150 each and every month, which means they have services for the next coming 3 years, meaning that I'll have to. That means I'll have enough customers. The more customers, and every month they pay, there's enough revenue for the business to run operational.
Thank you very much. That was a good presentation. I've got two points. One similar to Lucky, because you speak about a retail outlet.
Yes.
And you also speak about services. So it was unclear for me how that was going to work hand in hand. So just to be clear around how those two fit together. and whether you are going to go that subscription route, and then what does that mean for the retail outlet. And my second question would be, when you test the water, and especially because you're working in the mining areas, and something comes up in terms of water quality that your system is unable to deal with, how would you respond?
For example, normally municipal water, before the households get municipal water, it's cleaned. It's cleaned, but it's not properly cleaned because of whenever I check for TDS with the TDS parts per million, I find it that it's heavy metal. There's heavy minerals, a lot of minerals in the water, even when you drink or taste it and smell it. So with the reverse osmosis, the reverse osmosis is good for municipal water, especially for home water purification. And then with, for example, a borehole, or especially borehole, let's put it on a borehole, there's a water softener. Because on a borehole, there's hard water. So that water needs to be softened, and then with the water softener, and then from the water softener, then that's when we use the reverse osmosis for us to get quality water. And the second one was the retail.
It's fine. I think you responded to.
Okay.
My question is, when you pitched, it was unclear if your customer is really the household, in which case I think Lucky is correct around maybe relooking the model around the service rather than actually selling a product. But the other thing is, you mentioned public works and then traditional leaders.
Yes.
And so, again, maybe it's because you may be running two aspects to your business. I don't think that was clear. Like, are you going off and looking at a tender, and you're then supplying to a set of households based on a need, water quality need? Or is it that, how does public works fit in?
Oh, we were awarded a tender for commissioning of a water purification plant and installation, commissioning, and maintenance of a water purification plant in a hospital, and also in offices for tribal chiefs in rural villages.
So you have two customers.
Yes.
It could be the public sector, but also the household.
Yes.
Thanks. Very good research in your presentation. Just wanted to commend you for that. I think my question is around the pricing again. I think because you've got a head start, you've already been in operation, it would have been nice to see how the 1,000 differentiator between your cost price for the unit and what you sell it to, how you break that up. Because I'm looking at your overheads, and if you're saying you are going to be making 2,000 rands a day, installing 2 units, how many people are you using? And how does that, so I'm just worried about the pricing, but that is something that you probably need to look into, and perhaps some of the inputs that you've already made about the subscription model might just help you with that.
Yes.
Otherwise, good. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sorry we're not able to have more comments. The time is up. We're keeping to a strict 5 minutes for the adjudicators, but thank you so much. You've done really well. And we're going to set up now for the next contestant. Thanks. To introduce Kimsha Sepo, and she is representing today Mkwaba Green Solutions. Over to you.
Okay. Imagine making a profit using aquaponics through sustainable possibilities. Imagine having access to ideal food production and capturing fresh water from drainage systems and utilizing it. Good morning to the panel. The business idea is to provide healthy and affordable marron crayfish as an alternative choice to alleviate overfishing, specifically of rock lobster, as well as to produce leafy greens through aquaponics. This idea addresses sustainable development goals, which is life below water, sustainable cities, and food security. I aim to utilize domestic rainwater harvesting and later on stormwater for the deep water culture. Marron crayfish is a native crustacean from Australia. It is considered a delicacy. It was introduced to South Africa in 1970. The market demand for marron crayfish in South Africa outweighs the supply. Between 60 to 100 kgs are supplied weekly to urban markets at 250 rands per kg, to high-end supermarkets and restaurants in the Eastern Cape. KZN is suitable to produce marron, but does not farm it. The marron market is a multi-billion-dollar industry globally. The target market I identified is Woolworths. They have 155 full-line stores, 194 food stores, and 80 of which is in KZN. The competitors. A national survey revealed that there's less than 50 aquaponic farms in South Africa, 12 of which are commercial farms, and one is based in KZN in Richards Bay. Broadly, rock lobsters are sold between 500 to 1,000 rand per kg, and specifically, there's 2 crayfish marron farms in South Africa, which is based in the Eastern Cape. My business innovation model is farming crayfish in a tank in an aquaponic system will be the first in South Africa, as well as using stormwater. Crayfish are bottom feeders, and therefore aquaponics will render a healthy diet compared to pond-farmed marrons. My team consists of myself at the moment. I hold a bachelor's degree in geography and environmental management, and I have 4 years of retail experience in customer service, admin, and clinical research. I do, however, require human resources, such as an accountant, marketing and technical officers, fish specialists, workers, and I plan on overcoming this capacity constraint by sourcing graduates from the Water Research Commission's program. In 2019, I registered a PTY business. In 2021, I won a business challenge at the UKZN. In 2022, I anticipate the 10,000 Rand funding. In 2023, I aim to start a component of an aquaponics system to farm leafy greens. According to the feasibility study, 5 million Rand is required to yield 4 tons of marron crayfish. The internal rate of return is 7%. To work towards this goal, I will utilize the 10,000 Rand funding to generate an income for research and development. The break-even is expected to be after 5 months, with a closing balance of 12,775 Rand. Apart from funding, I would like to work closely with the government to ensure that this idea is possible. Let's create a better life to create a better future. I thank you.
Thank you, Kim Shah. You did so well on time. So there's a 30 seconds extra then that I'm going to add onto the adjudication. Thank you. Are you comfortable for that?
Yes, I'm fine.
Over to the dragons. They're so quiet. What's happening? You need a mic?
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Well done, Kim Shah, on that presentation. Very well articulated. I think my first question is, what is the relation between rock lobster and maroon crayfish?
Okay, thank you for your question.
Is it maybe in the taste, or is it a sustainability issue that you're trying to solve there? And also, I see your payback. You are looking at about 20 years payback. And do you think that any of your investors, are going to be that patient? Well, as you yourself as the entrepreneur in the business, is it sustainable for you to wait 20 years to get payback? Otherwise, compelling case there, and well done.
Okay, thank you for your questions. So rock lobsters are actually called crayfish in South Africa, and they are marine creatures. and they were harvested. They used to be harvested at 4,000 tons before, and over the recent years, because of the decline in its reproduction, they're now harvesting 2,000 tons. So there's a decline in the economic growth with lobster, rock lobster. Also the taste, as you mentioned, there is a difference in taste because one is salt water and the other is fresh water. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. I don't know if there's a...
I'll be quick. I had the same first question as Billy. Another question I have. You mentioned 2 farms in the Eastern Cape that are producing but not sufficient yields. What sort of numbers do those farms produce? Do you have any idea?
Okay, so the Department of Agriculture and Fisheries, Forestry and Fisheries, did a feasibility research. They did not mention specific numbers or even the names of the farms, so I'm unable to answer that question.
Thank you.
Super. Thank you. Thank you very much for that awesome presentation. You mentioned Woolworths as your potential off-taker. Have you identified what what their requirements are, for them to procure from you? Also in terms of quantities as well, And then I think my last question will actually be, how much do you require? I know you mentioned 5 million rands and you talked about the internal rates of return, but how much do you need, to get your process forward?
Okay, thank you for your question. With Woolworths, you need to register on a portal to become a supplier. So there is a procedure that you'd have to go through. They do identify and evaluate your products before they accept it. They do support local farmers, which is 30% of the local farmers. So once I do have the product, then I would be able to give them an estimate as to how much I can supply them, because at the moment you'd require a permit to farm crayfish, the marron crayfish. So it's all in the process, I would say.
How much do you need? Because I saw the 10,000 rands that you are anticipating for this year. So I just want to, how much do you need?
Regarding farming marron, in total, okay, the minimum would be 100,000 to set up an aquaponic system for a prototype, and as it progresses, I will apply for permits and so forth. Currently, the Aqua Southern Africa, I'm engaging with someone from the Innovation Hub over there regarding the discussions they're having in July for permits.
Yeah, on the permits issues, how long does it take to get a permit?
Okay, so I'm not too sure as yet because they did not. It's not readily available on the site, on the website of the Department of Fisheries, Forestry and Fisheries, because it's an ongoing discussion at the moment. So
even if you get the money, you can't start, right?
The marron crayfish part,
yeah.
Yes, not at the moment.
What can you start? What can you start?
I can start leafy greens, okay. So growing leafy greens, and also ornamental fish, which I can supply to a local pet shop, which I am affiliated with. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So at the moment, the money you need is to start the lean business model. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. The leafy greens and the
ornamental fish.
Okay.
Yes.
And how much do you need for that?
A minimum of 100,000, I would say, a minimum. It can be more if you'd like to, invest.
I'm more interested on the 7 million part. I'm happy to invest on the 7 million.
Thanks, Kimsha. Your presentation was great. That's why Rest is saying he'll go with the 7 million. So talk to me about your supply chain. What is your feedstock? or how you plan to balance that out for your Maron?
Okay, so with freshwater crayfish, which is the Maron crayfish, they are omnivores. So with growing the leafy greens, and obviously there would be waste from it, I intend on using it to feed the crayfish. Yeah.
Sorry, we are unfortunately out of time, so we just need to be fair. Sorry, Kimsha, out of time, unfortunately. But thank you very much. You did really well. Hand of applause. Thanks. Okay. So we just give a few minutes for the scoring, and I'm going to welcome our next contestant. So we've got a nice male-female balance today. Okay, I hope everybody had some good tea and they feel fresh again. Oops, sorry, do you need more space? It's okay. All right, so we are back, and we had a bit of a technical challenge, so we are glad to welcome Lesibo again. Kibo?
Liqebo.
Liqebo. I'm trying, eh? I'm trying. Vatiana, and he's from Nimbus Technology. So over to you. I'm going to start the clock in 1 minute. Okay.
Can I start? Awesome stuff. So I know my fellow contestants have asked you to imagine, and you've been doing a lot of imagining, and you're still going to do a lot of imagining today. So that's why I've asked you to picture. Picture a world where your tapping your toilet did not work for hours and sometimes even days. Now, luckily for you, when you stop imagining this horrific image, you can go back to your 10-minute showers. But for thousands of South Africans, that horrific image is their daily reality. Good morning, dragons, and to those streaming at home. My name is Liqebo Vakyana. I'm the founder of the idea company called Nimbus Technology. Nimbus taken from the Latin word for cloud. I come from a small township called Zwide in the city of Gqeberha, a city where days without water is our reality. But what if through sustainable innovation we could change all of that? Using our product, the Nimbus, a vertical tank that condenses water vapor in the air, turning it into water. This idea is already working through a company called Source Global, which is present in 52 countries using similar technology. I'd like you to take a mental picture of how much it would cost for you to acquire one of those units. So my team currently consists of myself, and I have a BA degree in organizational psychology and a postgrad diploma in enterprise management. I have 10 years of business management experience. I have an advisor from the Rhodes Business School and a mentor in Elise Harting from the YBT program. My team still needs a marketing manager, a financial manager, a technical professional, and 2 technical associates, which we aim to bring into the business for the inception. So where are we now? We are still in the ideation phase, but we have done extensive research and testing, and we believe that we are ready, 100% ready, for a pilot project that will help us make the necessary adjustments to our model. We have connected to an engineering firm from the city of Gqeberha who is interested in helping us manufacture our units. We've identified 2 customer segments, the first being middle-class income houses that earn a minimum of 30,000 Rand. These customers are already spending 25,000 Rand annually on buying drinking water. The second customer segment is semi-private schools that are purely dependent on municipal water. These customers, in times of water shedding or when the water is too dirty to drink, need a reliable, clean water supply for their children. Our total addressable market includes the 50,000 middle-class income homes between Gqeberha and Makanda, as well as the 50-plus semi-private schools between that area. We aim to funnel these customers into our business using social media marketing, physical marketing, referrals, and meetings. And now let's talk numbers. So the cost to produce 1 unit of the Nimbus is 9,264 Rand. Our selling price will be at 15,500 Rand. With a gross profit margin of 35,000 Rand, if we can sell 20 units of the Nimbus, we would be able to make 43,000 Rand, 806 net profit before tax. We estimate that it will take us almost 2 years to break even if we can achieve 125 units sold. Our action plan for growth includes expanding operations into other provinces. An innovative aspect of our business model is that we intend to use shipping containers for storage and rent out vans from the local transportation. This will allow us to have the capacity to operate and also acts as an alternative to acquiring vehicles and other liabilities. We're in the process of raising capital, and we want to use our basic business plan to approach private funding companies such as Lululand and StarX. We intend to use crowdfunding as well as approach and seek support of angels and investors. We are interested in any avenues available with the Innovation Hub. What we need is the 500,000, and we need that to be able to manufacture our product and to build financial capacity. Thank you so much for your time. I will now take any questions that you might have.
Lekabo, thanks for that presentation. I see Umumkaya, so we come from the same place. And awesome. I know water is a big problem. I think my first question is, you talk about manufacturing the product. But I think at the beginning of your presentation, I think I was under the impression that you would be buying and reselling the units.
Okay.
Just maybe a word of advice. It would help you to do some sort of a cost-benefit analysis in terms of what the actual problem, the gravity of the problem is, and so that you can justify payback for your customers. Because I mean, you're asking about 10K per unit. As much as you have identified a sizable market, but it would be from a selling point to maybe look into that. Yeah, I think that's it from my side. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks. I think what you've articulated is a real need, especially in times of drought in these sorts of environments. What I'm interested in, obviously you're focusing on something which is commonly referred to as air harvesting units.
Yes.
But normally to get, and I see that you've got a plan around bringing it in-house to manufacture, etc. Have you basically also understood from the manufacturing point of view, is it 1 unit at a time, or is it really you want to move into scaled up production and that will bring you more sort of savings that will then allow you to have a better return on investment and maybe even position the product from a profitability in a better way? And also you spoke a little bit, I think, around sanitation as well.
Yes.
Are you looking at this business just being around water supply, or are you like a range of household products that meet this demand?
Okay. Just to answer, I think those are questions. Just to answer the first one, we've done some studies with the Rhodes University and some of the experts in that area. But after coming up with what would be the design of the product, I had then approached the engineering firm in Port Elizabeth in Kabeja and explained the idea to them and the design. And they had then gone forward and said, we will be able to manufacture the design. Now acquiring the product would be more expensive because these products are expensive. The idea was to find an affordable option for the customer. To achieve that, we would have to then personalize our materials that we're going to be using and then find a way to create that. Now, the manufacturer would require me to put up money to acquire 20 units at a time. So then I would use that initial 20 units then to then start the business. For the second question, I'm struggling to remember the second question.
range of products.
Range of products, yes. So initially, we want to start with the first product and see how that adapts to what our target market would want, and see how the customers could also try and fit it in elsewhere, such as farming industry or sanitation as for toilets. But the idea is the market is wide-ranging, and with a product that is solid, somewhere we can then explore other alternatives.
Thanks, Lesebo, and well done. Maybe I missed this in your presentation, but okay. What is the capacity of your system or unit? So how much water can it make? And you mentioned source hydro panels. So have you done some investigation into how much they are able to generate with their technology?
Yes. So I'll start with competitor. Our competitor right now started making water and saying the capacity or what they were able to produce in a day was around 6 liters. And then they started advertising it as a drinking, water for drinking. They then rearranged their products and then started targeting other customers. Their product went to, I think, 60 liters. Through tests we have done at the Rhodes University with other partners, we have done 80 liters a day. But the surface area, we actually put it into the product, but that's with a different surface area. So we want to get to a point where we can start a pilot project, make those necessary adjustments to achieve that 80 liters a day. But the range we are aiming to reach is 80 liters a day, 80 to 120 liters in a day. Yes. Thank you so much.
That's quite significant. Okay. Yes. So what I'm trying to understand is the first number versus the second number. So is this, initially you said that if we had to purchase your competitor's product, it would be 100,000 plus.
Yes.
Right. How did you manage to get it to 10,000? Is it a stripped down product or is it advancement in technology? How much of that can you share with us?
I can because I've done some research on that. So the competitor has gone a far distance into trying to be able to have tracking technology on its solar panels so they can help the customer predict how much water they can make by telling them the weather and stuff like that. So there's such advancements that they've made of their product that we are not intending to include. Difference in materials is a big one because they are a US-based company that uses different materials and is aiming to be a high-end product. We are targeting affordability. We are trying to achieve affordability to our customers. That's how we've brought it down. We do aim to get to a point where we can use sustainable materials, such so as to try and keep it affordable as the level of inflation rises due to things such as the war against Russia.
Thank you so much. I'm so sorry to cut you there, but your time is up. I just want to be fair to everybody. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. You did very well. Thank you.